Exactly. So, Andre, is that it? That's really that's it? I think they should get an encore. Yeah. So yeah, I think we should get an encore. And just so you guys see, I did get my t-shirt, I purchased my t-shirt. And like I said, it should be for $80, but it's $55 tonight for you guys because you know, they feel it generous, right? Please. I never knew that they were 80 years old, so this is a big band, this is a historical band, so looking forward to hearing about them later. But once again, let's hear it one more time for Souls of Steel Orchestra. Yes, indeed. Once again, make some noise. This is Souls of Steel Orchestra, led by Mr. Andre Rouse. And as I said, a little bit later, after the intermission, we're going to actually have a sit-down panel with the arrangers tonight. So that's going to be very interesting. So make sure you stick around for that. I think we're going to do something real quick. So are you guys... Yeah, Amus, or you got to go outside? You guys do anything? You went south? All right. Down south. Have a good night. Everybody give it one more time for Souls of Steel Orchestra. So let's see. I was telling you I do have a giveaway to give away. And it's for Gemini and Groove and St. Paul Steel Orchestra. They present Christmas on Steel. It's going to take place Saturday, December the 13th, from 6 p.m. The doors open. Tickets are $25. U-tickets are $15. It's brought to you by two bands. The first person who can tell me the two bands, I will give a ticket to, and I'm not looking at that table over there, no. I just announced the two bands. Can anybody tell me who those two bands are? No. It wasn't Bad Fantasy. Nobody? Well, they don't pay attention in class. That's what we're on. All right. I'll give you another opportunity. Can anybody tell me the date of the event? What day? Was you said that? What day did you say? Okay. Over there too? No, they're too close to us. Yeah. I feel they know you. December 13th. And the two bands are Gemini, Pan Groove, and St. Paul's. So congratulations. December 13th. Here's a complimentary ticket on behalf of them. All right? So bring everybody at this table here. You see, I sell about 5 tickets there. Just so. That's how we do. Just so. 5 tickets sold. Silex, how are you? We have DJ Silex with us today as well. I would like to tell you about one more thing before we get started, because I want Khan to get very comfortable before he starts his presentation. But look out on the 24th of January. You guys listening now? Because more tickets might come. It's called Snowflakes on Steel. It's the 28th annual Snowflakes on Steel, brought to you by Pan-Arts Network. 5 steel bands: Fanatics, Gemini, Pan Groove, Afro-Pan, Souls of Steel, and Pan Fantasy. Also have featured guests, Dance Carib. We have Pan Pioneers, we have Women in Pan, and we have Lifetime Achievement Award as well. So come on out, it's the 28th annual. It's always a great showcase. It's a Steelpan showcase in January, right before people go to Trinidad for Carnival. Anybody want Trinidad for Carnival this year? All right, well, we know Majid is going. How many bands do you play with in Trinidad now, Majid? Look, see, look. At least 6. Small band, Pan Around Your Neck, Desperados, Tobago. Maybe, you see? See when you're good? He's a really good player. And he plays tenor, he plays bass. What pan do you prefer to play for Panorama? As you can tell, I'm stalling. Bass? And you play 6, 12, 9, what do you play again? You just say, yeah, all of them. So, all right, brother, all right. Bartender, what about Whitney? You good? All right. Nobody buy me a drink, so I'm just trying to let them know that drinks are on sale today. The Heineken cold? The Heineken is cool, apparently. And they have wine and things, all right? So, I think I stalled enough. We good? All right, looks like we're good. I would like to bring to the stage somebody to introduce this person, because this is a special night, because you're going to get a lot of information and you're going to hear a lot of good music. So I would like to bring to the stage somebody that you should be very familiar with. She goes by the name of Joy Lapp, and she's going to introduce what's going to be happening here next. So please make some noise for Joy Lapp.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay, good. How's everyone doing tonight? Awesome. clap, right? Right? It's such an honor to be here, and I really think we should give a round of applause to everyone who collaborated in organizing tonight's event. Please do that, give them a round of applause. Often, you know, when Conroy was talking about this event, we often get a chance to come and listen to Steelpan music and enjoy it, but sometimes we don't get to talk about it and give it context. And so tonight's event allows us to do that, and so we really appreciate being able to do that. And we really appreciate the collaboration with the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism office here in Toronto in bringing our guest speaker, Mr. Cordice. Ken is a local from Antigua. Anybody from Antigua and Barbuda in the house? Yes, yes. And so if you're not from there, don't feel bad. But he is a skilled arranger, composer, educator, drill master, award-winning and panorama-winning arranger. And for those of you that are not from Antigua, but maybe are from Trinidad and Tobago, he's gone over there and he's done some drilling and he's done some amazing work. And so it is our honor and pleasure to have him tonight. He will be the guest speaker at the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Toronto, the dinner and dance celebrating our 44 years of independence. And so he'll be there tomorrow. Oh, did I mention he's the director of culture? Sorry. Please give a round of applause. He's just phenomenal and just amazing. So Ken said that his intro to us was going to be that he was going to speak to us through his instrument, and so he's going to open with that, and then he'll start to chat and engage with us and share his expertise around drilling and the steel band, and I know it'll be so much more. We're going to just give him a moment there. Everybody feeling okay? Yeah, can we give another round of applause to Souls of Steel Orchestra? I wasn't sure where they were going with that last song, the intro, and I was like, oh, that's your intro. Okay, that's where we're going. It was so nice. It was beautiful. Again, Mr. Ken Cordice, please give him your warm, even though it's cold outside, your warm, Toronto, Canadian, Caribbean, Pan community welcome.
mic here, right? This is the mic. Yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. Or good night. It's actually not that bad outside. I studied in the Midwest for it's about 2.5 years, so it's not that cold. It's okay. And today was better than yesterday too. But as Joy mentioned, and I'm really humbled to have Joy introduce me. Joy is an amazing musician and educator. Hi, Joy. And let's make this very interactive. You can ask as many questions as you want. But just a little bit about me and what I do and what I can do to help to hopefully inspire both young and very young in the room. All right? My name is Cordice. I am from the beautiful Twin Island of Antigua and Barbuda. 35 years old. I've been playing this instrument for just about 23 years, thereabouts. I started just after common entrance, just about turning 12. And when I initially started playing the instrument, I had no intentions of becoming a professional creative musician. I had all intentions to become what society said would have been a successful career path. So initially I wanted to be, are there any doctors in the room? Medical doctors in the room? No? All right, so that doesn't apply to any of you here. Any lawyers in the room? No? I wanted to be a lawyer at one point in time. I wanted any policemen in the room, law enforcement? Nah, something wrong. So, what do you guys do? Any accountants in the room? Any accountants? Everybody, oh, okay, I see one. Whew. I was about to say, everybody here do the same work. What do you do? What do you do? You're freight forwarding. I definitely don't want to be freight forwarding. So I wanted to be what, the traditional careers initially. And, so when I first started playing the instrument, it was very much just playing it as a hobby. I do have music in my family. My father's a musician. He's a police officer as well. And that's why I wanted to be a policeman. But I had no intention to do music. But music actually came, for the most part, relatively simple for me in terms of just being able to pick up an instrument and play. So I started doing that for 4 years, playing every summer. And then I got called to the National Youth Pan Orchestra in Antigua. And there is where sort of inspired me further to do what I do now. Just jumping over a lot of the unimportant things, I think the major turning point in my life would have been sitting in my accounts class with 90 plus students, and I looked around and I said, well, I'm going to have to compete with all these people for work. And music is so easy, And it's really not easy. I'm just saying at the time, it really came easy to me. So I said, you know what, let me, focus a little bit more on being a creative and really just exploring my creativity, as a person, as a human. And I started getting a bit more involved, looking at a lot of the work. So the snowflakes on steel, I actually checked out quite a bit of those videos 20 years ago, 18 years ago, where I would have seen people like Jovan Stewart, Liam Teague. So the work that you're doing here, here in Toronto, Canada, the Pan Arts Network, I think you guys should give yourself a round of applause, because platforms like those that help to inspire me. So started checking out a lot of videos online, started seeing and hearing, all these things. And I remember there was one time I asked, everybody know Len Bugsy Sharp, right? Right. I asked him, what is it he did to get so good? And they say he used to practice 8 hours a day. And I said, well, if you had to practice 8 hours a day, then I need to practice 8 hours a day. So I used to practice 6 to 8 hours a day while going to State College back at home, while going to National Youth Pan, while going to Helsinki. I don't even know where I found the time. I don't remember going to school, that's the problem. But I did pass. But I spent quite a bit of time on the instrument is what I'm trying to say. And I've always been fortunate to have very influential mentors in my life, people who sort of looked for me or saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. in 2008, I lost a very close friend, a brother of mine, to violence, gang violence. And when I say we were very close, everywhere he went, I started playing golf because of him. He started playing Steelpan because of me. And when I was in the Panyard and got the call that he got shot, it's at that moment I realized I need to spend a bit more time, just doing positive things, just focusing a bit more on, just educating. So I've been teaching, we talk about education, teaching School of Pan back home since I was 14, 15 years old, right, every weekend, and to the underprivileged kids, and I still do so today, even with a hectic job, because I see the need for it. So, over the years I've really, met a lot of people. I went to Trinidad, did my bachelor's, I did graduate top of performing and creative arts there. And then I went to NIU, just outside of Chicago, and worked along with Liam Teague and Clifford Alexis. And that sort of just expanded more of my horizon. And since then, I've been all over. I arranged for National Panorama in Antigua and Barbuda. Started at 18, the competition happened just after my 19th birthday. And I've won 11 Panorama Championships in 14 competitions in Antigua. Yeah, so. And strange enough, I now feel like I'm discovering myself, as a creative at this point. But I'll just say, so I've been working with Hell's Gate Seal Orchestra for the last, since 2009 as an official arranger, since 2012 as the musical director, when I came back from my bachelor's degree. And we've done quite a bit of work. So just to point out a little bit, I know a friend here, Earl, pointed out that we do have some anniversary shirts on sale. The Hell's Gate Seal Orchestra this year celebrates 80 years of legacy and memories. This band is one of the bands that would have made major contributions to the Steelpan movement globally. It is one of the oldest existing bands, unbroken service since 1945. And it is this platform that created me. It gave me a voice and so many others. Right now in our organization, we have, I guess you can call it 3 different types of membership. One being what we call the stage side. These are the members that practices 3 days a week. They perform concerts, hotels, that kind of thing. And it's a 47 member side. They're currently practicing right now. Actually, John that picked me up today, you heard me sending them some information while we were coming down the road. But we also have a Panorama band that sees some in the region of 160 members every year. We only take about 110 persons to the stage, because that is the maximum. But they still come every year, be a part of what we do. And then we do have a sort of membership where I mentor, I think now it's about 9 young arrangers, who will eventually take over from me, probably very soon, I don't know, whenever they decide to let me go. I think that's what will happen. But we do have some people, and they do all of the other competitions outside of the National Panorama in Antigua. So we continue to have a sort of training and ongoing. Actually, quite a bit of the up-and-coming arrangers, even for some of the other bands in Antigua, would have come through our doors, working as either my assistant, my second, or arrangers in some of the other competitions. Yes, so I think in a nutshell, that is me. Now to get to the part where I think, and I would love to hear some questions from you guys, if that's okay. Connie, is it okay for me to kind of allow people to ask questions?
I have the mic, so yes.
Oh, sure. So I just wanted to give a bit about me and what I do in a nutshell and why I do. Yes. So in terms of what I do as a day job, I am the Director of Culture and Administrator in the Ministry of Creative Industries back home. But I do spend quite a bit of time still traveling and educating. I just came back from doing a developmental session in arranging and performance in Syncits. I love sessions like those. To be honest, if I can do that all day, every day, I'll be a very happy man. I don't have to deal with all the stresses of administration. But I enjoy it the same way because in my day job I get the opportunity to to create or to be a part of creating opportunities for other people, you know, like myself. You know, when I look at the younger generation, I really want to see how we can help to create a better next generation. You know, especially I have 2 girls, and I'd really love for them to live in a better world than I lived in. So, you know, so be a part of that process. I think I'd love to see how I can live my days doing that. So
any questions? Joy. All right. And raise your hand if you have a question.
My question for you, Ken, is how, if you could give us maybe 2 or 3 tips on really cultivating the next generation of leaders. Also, I'm really interested in sustainability for Steelpan here in Canada, internationally, and so I think a lot of it is about nurturing young talent. And so, can you tell us how do you do that in a really good way, and nurturing leadership skills across the steel band? So arranging is one, but there's other things that are needed. And how do you do that in a good way, knowing that sometimes people don't want to let go of their posts? So can you just tell us, like, how have you been able to cultivate that in a way where young people feel seen, where they feel valued? We can still value those who have blazed the trail. Tell us about that. Thank you.
That's an amazing question, and thanks for that. Okay, how do I start? For me, I see that we all have a place, you know. Everybody has a role in what we do in this particular art form. Now, for those of you who don't know, the instrument is not yet 100 years old. Maybe in another 10 years or less, you know, we'll be there at the century mark. But we would have seen some of the greatest pioneers, you know, on earth, you know, to walk the face of the earth, you know, be instrumental in the development of this instrument. But because it's also so young, we're talking about pioneers who are still, some of them are still alive. And I know there's this battle of, you know, don't want to give up, as you're saying, you know, we don't want to give people space. But I do think there's space. One of the things that I try to do, I don't compete at all with my mentees. If I create a space for them, that space is just for them. So when I say I have in Hell's Gate alone 9, maybe 10 people who are young arrangers, right, who are up and coming, there's actually one guy who is still a mentor to me, but he's one of them that got me into Steelpan first, and I'm now teaching the art of arranging. So he's a young arranger, but he's about 20 years older than I am, all right? So simple, as I said, I don't do anything other than national panorama, and I find ways to kind of bring them into the discussion. So the last 5 years or so, 2019, we would have created now a musical team at the national panorama level. So when I do have my conversations about choice of songs, they're very much involved in that conversation, you know, and as we're developing ideas, if there's something I think that they can learn from, I'll be like, hey, check this out, you know, this is why I do what I do. But in terms of creating those spaces now, in Antigua, there is a couple of competitions that happen annually. The National Junior Panorama Competition, which some of our older guys still arranging. I've made it abundantly clear that I would not arrange for that competition ever again, because I think that that's a platform for younger people, and when I say younger, not just in age, but in experience, to get their hands wet, to develop. So for me personally, that opportunity is for them, and I ensure that I put myself out to mentor them in that space. I don't need to compete with them. I don't think there's any benefit in that at that level. In Antigua and Barbuda, the national panorama is the highest level. So I guess if you want to be the best, you have to, in the country, you'd have to elevate yourself there. But we also have competitions like the 25-a-side competition that happens at Steelpan. Again, I do not arrange in that competition. The last time I did it would have been in 2016, the year after I came back from doing my master's. And again, at that point in time, I would have had maybe about 5, 6 or so titles as a national panorama arranger. But when I looked around, and in speaking to one of my mentors, who was the former arranger before I took over. You know, he said, you know, this may be an opportunity for us to develop, you know, that next generation. So we put them there, we work with them in the background, you know, send me music, let me give you some feedback on it before you take it to the band, and support them all the way. So by not having competed with them, you know, per se, but also creating space for them to shine, to blossom, we've been able to create, you know, this very, I mean, every day they call, you know, this is what I'm doing. But just looking right across the Steelpan fraternity, for us, we just think generally creating space and allowing people to function. We get busy. I'm extremely busy. So we are practicing every day now for our concert on the 22nd. And if I was a selfish person, the band would not have been able to practice because there's nobody there to run the band. But my musical team is on the ground running the band. Right, and when I said that eventually one of them will take over, it likely will be sooner rather than later because at least, you know, for a time, I'm extremely busy right now. I just don't have the time to commit, and I've acknowledged that. That's something that I do. I do a lot of reflection every day, and I say, listen, I just can't do it the way that I used to do it. I can't go and spend 6-7 days at the vineyard every night, you know. So if that's the case, rather than holding it up for myself, why not create opportunities for people? And, you know, we're here for a limited time, and I think that's something that we all need to acknowledge. And while we're here, we contribute as best as we can contribute, and we try to nurture as many people as we can nurture. So whenever that time is, and I think that's why Hell's Gate has done so well over the last 8 years. And the band has 24, well, the numbers are at the back of the shirt, I think 24 titles. The next band closest to that has, I think, 12 titles. It's a reason why the band has done so well competitively, so well as an organization over the last 80 years, and it has a lot to do with just continuing to think about how do we sort of future-proof the organization. And I've learned from those same settings, and we continue to encourage them. Because of Hell's Gate, we have majority of the church bands in Antigua and Barbuda would have been started by some sort of influence, either members going there and starting, or they coming and learning it with us and then eventually starting. I mean, Hell's Gate would have been the band that played at church in 1955, 56, somewhere around there, which would have been a point in time when, you know, playing at church would have been, well, being associated with a church would have been seen as demonic. The steel bands were seen as demonic at the point in time, the music that they were playing. So to be able to play in a church back then, right, it would have been a big deal. And we did start our celebration this year by playing at that same church out in Parham. If Antiguans who are here, you know the St. Peter's Anglican Church out in Parham, right? We went back there in January and did our first Thanksgiving service of sorts back then. So I hope that answers your question. But for us, it's really just trying to create space and to just think about how we can continue to mentor and nurture people for the next generation. We'd love to see this organization and PAN as a whole, you know, sort of live for the next million years. You know, we could be talking about our greats 100, 200, 300 years from now. And I can imagine the same thing here in Toronto with the work, in Canada, sorry, with the work that you guys are doing on the ground.
That's great. I'll jump in. Anybody else have a question, please raise your hand. Hell's Gate, like this was the first time that I'm hearing that they were that old. I never knew, and that's a major accomplishment. Like you said, you guys are on the ground, and this instrument is only close to 90, like you said, right? Bands that came out of Hell's Gate, are there a lot of it? Because, for example, Souls of Steel, Pan Fantasy, like one of the histories that we talk about here is Afropan. Afropan has the legacy of the history here. We celebrated 52 years, I think. 73 was when we started, so we're just a little younger than you guys. Yeah. We have the most victories, like you said, but our offspring, which is Pan Fantasy, just did 11 straight. You know what I mean? So they're knocking on the door, and that's something that, for me, I feel good because that's like you're saying, keeping the thing going. Yeah. Like you have to have growth, right? You have to have youths coming in the band and learning these things. So mentoring them in that way and feeling good about it, because a lot of the older heads don't like to pass things on. Like we know, right, Joy? I'm an example of that, so I can speak on that. But
You're an example of the older one not passing it on.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! And I hope this is being recorded for quality assurance. Cameras right there. But yes, and I understand that. So I love to see the youths come up and grow in this thing and learning from people like you. You saw a gentleman there by the name of Corey who was doing so much soloing.
Amazing work, man, this guy here.
Yes, Corey is an offspring of bands, and he's a loyal person too. We had to beg him to play with other bands because we want him to be able to grow, right? So I'm glad that he's in here listening, and I would like him to, you know, at least ask a question, because I think getting the knowledge from people like you and the Joys and the other musicians out there, or Panis out there, is very vital.
Yeah.
Now is a good time because we are all one people and we like to share things, whereas before, we didn't do them things, you know what I mean? And I feel one of the things that I feel that there's a great need is pan tuners.
Yes.
Any pan tuners in Antigua or learning to tune, because that's one of the things that I feel like if we don't have that soon, we could just...
I don't remember, I'm trying to remember who I was speaking to, and I think it was here in Canada. I think so. If not, it was just as I was leaving home 2 days ago. So just to go to your first point really quickly, Harmonites, for those people who are from Antigua, Harmonites is one of the, probably one of the most influential bands, especially coming up there to the early 2000s. They did fall off a bit, and we do hope that they do come back on, because the rivalry is good at times. But you know what they were able to bring to the table in Antigua, they would have been the only band, or at least the first band, who would have represented at the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, and played at the Super Bowl. So they have, their style is very different. So they would have brought something to the thing. I know for sure Harmonites is one of them. The spin-off would have been bands like Superstars, who is not dormant, or maybe they are dormant, but they're still around. They still do hotel gigs, but they're not, make public appearances like concerts and things. So that's in terms of offspring. As I mentioned, there are quite a bit of church bands, school bands that would have been started because of Hell's Gate, right? And for us, it's and my mentor did tell me this. Well, one of my mentors. I mean, I can teach you everything that I know. I mean, I can teach you all of my skills, my licks, my ideas. It doesn't mean that you're going to utilize them the same exact way, right? So it's not for me to hold on to that information. It's for me to pass it on, and that next generation take it to the next level and to the next level and to the next level, right? So I can teach you and encourage you to try the thing. Now for me, I find when I teach people, I learn more, right? I teach you a line, and then you go and you do something with it, like, I like that. Now I take it back and I try to do something with it. So I personally have been learning from teaching, right? But it's an encouragement to all of you. I mean, we all, and I'm going to say it again, you probably hear it multiple times tonight, we all only have a time here. We're here for a short time. So while we're here, for me, let's contribute as much as possible. We share as much as possible, because I don't want to be in my grave, whatever, but I don't want to be in my grave thinking, boy, I could have done more. I could have given more. I should have left more information for them. So I do think, especially in the black culture, we need to be feeling more comfortable in sharing and giving that information. You mentioned something else I was supposed to get to, the last thing. I don't remember. When it comes to me.
It's all good, I forget. This gentleman here, that's what it is.
And I think the guy in the back in the lilac shirt wanted to say something as well.
Good evening. My question is, recognizing that different people, particularly adults, learn at different paces and in different formats. How long would it take an average adult, say 50 years and over, to learn Steelpan? And is it a very difficult art form to learn?
Okay, that's an easy question. So I always tell people that the Steelpan is probably the instrument that can give you instant satisfaction. I think everybody can play Steelpan, right? Not I think, I know everybody can play Steelpan. As a matter of fact, I know that I can teach everybody in this room, whether you've played pan or not played pan before, a song by the end of tonight. I know. The thing is, I can't tell you that you'll be great at it. That's the difference. Right? So it really depends on the person. Some people are much more receptive than others. We do have a section of Hell's Gate. That was the membership I was trying to remember. We do have our School of Pan. And under our School of Pan, we have our beginners. This is young kids who've never played Pan before. So now we do beginners to early intermediate as one class, late intermediates to advanced as a second class, and then we have what we call the Golden Gates, which is for the older beginners. Now, we didn't name them, they named themselves, right? So the Eustace Manning Henry Steelpan Academy, Eustace Manning is one of the most influential, or the most influential persons in Hell's Gate's legacy. So the School of Pan was named after him. It's a subsidiary, a very strong subsidiary of the Hell's Gate brand. And what we try to do weekly, and it runs the same way the academic year runs, we have those classes for the Golden Gates and for the normal students. Now with Golden Gates, we do have, there's a lady in there now that's I think 79 or 80 or so, and she would have just started playing Pan like 2-3 years ago, all right? All of the students in that class they've never got the opportunity to learn. There's some of them that said, when they were younger, their parents would have never allowed them to learn because the Steelpan was seen as such a bad thing. It's for gangsters, and so they weren't allowed to learn. Now that they're older and, mommy and daddy not around, they can do whatever they want to do. So they're now starting to learn. No, when I took over that class back in 2017, thereabout, I remember when I walked in the first day, I thought, these people could be my mom, grandparents, them kind of things. Because at the time I would have been, 27, right, in 2017. And I walked in and I realized I had to treat them the same way I treated my 5-year-olds. When I'm teaching my 5-year-old, I'd be like, no, don't do that. Listen to me. Don't play. And I said don't play. But the thing is, what I found, the similarities between those 5-year-olds and the older beginners. The older beginners they're stubborn, they're stuck in their way, right? And they feel like they can control everything. So, when you go and teach a class, you have to tell them, no, this is what we're doing, right? And I want you to do it my way. But the thing with teaching the instrument, and I'm sure Joy and the other people here will tell you, and I think I saw a bit of it, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe I'm correct with Andrew and the work that he did with Soul of Steel earlier, is to write music or arrange music that is level appropriate. So if I was to play, if I tell you want to learn to play Steelpan, you are, 40 years old? Work with me, say yes. All right, and you're going to play for the very first time and you decide, I'm going to just play this song and you're going to learn this song, all right? You will feel frustrated, you won't be able to play it because it's just not at your level. Now I tell you, listen, we come to the class and we teach you a very, very simple song as a beginner. Then by the end of the class, you might learn the entire song and you leave feeling so much more, relieved, happy because you would have learned to play. It's the same way we do when you're teaching 5-year-olds. So a lot of times, we, as adults or teachers, we don't, and I use the term a lot, we don't practice level appropriate learning. That same melody, we can do it a little bit more difficult if you start to get better. I can play it like this. Something like that, right? I guess a bit more challenging, but it's the same song, same melody. So as you get a bit more advanced, now there's, and I'm proud to say, her name is Avenel. She started playing with the school of the same Golden Gates. She's retired. Sometime around 2018, 2019, I could be wrong. But she played, no, it might have been more like 20. She thinks she started after COVID. Whatever. She just recently started, and she played for National Panorama in 2024. with us, right, in the same group. So it's possible, but you have to start at a level appropriate space. So it makes no sense, you know, you've never played pan before and you come in and trying to jump into panorama. Well, it might be possible if you're receptive enough, if you can make it happen, then sure, all right? But start at your level, right? If you're a beginner, not because a 5-year-old is there, don't want to play his music, that is just what it is, all right? If I'm 20 and I've never played pan before, and then there's some people that just have the dexterity for it. For some people, it comes very easy. My very first time playing the pan was at Panorama, and I played right up in the front row. It was easy for me. I'm very good with my hands, so yeah, it might be the same for you. All right, and that is also it's sort of invitation for all of you to learn to play the instrument if you've never played the instrument before. All right, all right. Oh.
Yes, pardon me for remaining seated while
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Just to expand on that a bit, I played pan for the first time about 60 years ago.
Okay.
And of course the pans were arranged.
I remember that.
And the pans were arranged very different in those days.
Okay.
I'm now 87, and last year I joined a beginner's class.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a challenge, but I tell you, I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Even though we were trying to play, we were learning a difficult song, DNA. Wish they would have chosen something. Yeah, but anyway, so you get a lot of enjoyment at an older age. You can still enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
Now, I've been following you up since you, I'm not sure the sales game, but you won with a 25 aside.
Yeah, so 2008.
Right.
Yeah.
You were 18 years old or something like that?
Yes, that's correct.
I've been following you up all over the years.
Yeah, that before I started arranging for National Panorama, actually. That's my first major competition.
Great.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could break down for me and for us the difference or similarities between the arranger and the driller.
Ah, sure.
You were drilling for
Exodus, yeah.
now.
Sure, I can, and that's a great question. So as an arranger, and I think that's what most people know, that's the person that is responsible for coming up with the creative elements of the music. And, you know, so you come with your, what we call the main theme, that's the flat tunes. If it's DNA, you know, that's DNA. You figure out how creatively you're going to put that together, melodically, harmonically, rhythmically, all of that. And then you would have developed the tune based on how you see it from a creative point of view. Just trying to, you know, sort of brush over it quickly. So as an arranger, me personally, I like to think about the context in which I'm arranging for. So let us take Panorama, for example. But even in Panorama, there are differences in the context. What I do in Antigua as an arranger is going to be different to what I do in Trinidad versus what I do in the UK as an arranger, because the setting is a little different, right? I mean, I understand, you know right now what the scene sort of demands in Antigua. When I go to Trinidad, it's a little bit different. So in Trinidad, it's a bit more, you know, aggressive. It's in your face, you know, a lot of flashy runs, and it's a show. So now, when I'm arranging, I'm thinking within that context. But as an arranger, you are the person responsible with developing that creative content with the hopes of winning the competition. And if you're not going to win, there's sometimes when you don't think about winning, you think about because in Trinidad you have single, small, medium, large, and then you have preliminaries, semi-finals and finals. And why I say it might be different, because if you're a football manager, and your team has just now been promoted to the Premier Division, the first division, your first target is not to win, it's to maybe, you know, make it into the top 10, and then, so in Trinidad, because of how big the economy is, the Steelpan economy is, sometimes your mandate is to make it to the finals, so I did arrange for Angel Harps back in 2024, I think. And that similarly was the mandate. You know, the band wasn't making it to the finals. Let's make it to the finals, right? So, because you have to also be realistic about what you have, you know, your instruments, your players, finances, that kind of thing, right? So, yes, winning is the ultimate goal, but there may be some other goals attached to it as the arranger. As a drill master now, that varies depending on the band. It varies depending on your ask, you know, sometimes the relationship with the manager, and also depending on who the drill master is. In all the spaces that I've been a drill master, generally the drill master is the person that goes and, in simple terms, clean up the music. He comes inside, cleans up all of your runs, clean up all of your phrases, and for some of them they do what we call shaping, right? So you have a particular run, you may have the power to maybe add a sort of swell towards the end of it, or maybe this drop here, you can add tell some other instrument to add some emphasis, right? So you're the person that helps to sort of bring the music to life. In all of the roles that I've served as drill master, it's been a bit more of, yes, doing the drilling, but I've also been sort of a musical consultant. So if I don't like it, I can't go it. I've gotten that sort of responsibility. So, and it's because of, as I mentioned, because who the person is, you know, the knowledge, the experience. So as a drill master, it is very much, for me, I go in, I deal a lot with the mental side of the performances. So it's not just go and it's physical, but it's mental. Try to get the players' minds in tune. We start rehearsal, understanding like what we're going to do, how we're going to get there. I use a lot of percentage. Okay, guys, we're at about 50%, so we're not yet there. We have another 50% to go. Guys, we're at 90%. So you create your strategies. A big part of what I do, though, is helping a lot in sort of making the product, I would call it gold, in a sense. So when I walk into a particular space as a drill master, sorry. I need to get some I need people.
No, but I mean,
Sorry, go again?
no, I was saying, like, you know, when you, like, for example, if there's a bad run, like, you know, you could play a bad run.
Yeah. Yeah. I need people. I can borrow you a second? Yeah. Bring 2 other persons with you, I guess. So.
Any solo player here?
Yeah,
Solo player? Nah, I'm an MC today, bro.
10 minutes? Okay.
We got 2 tenors here.
That's fine. So I'll work on that. So so as I was saying, as in my role as drill masters, I've been a bit more than just cleaning up music, but helping to add more value on the musical side. So I would walk in, I remember, so I worked very closely with BJ, who was the arranger for Exodus. And this year in particular, there was a part in there that I just didn't like how it was done. I didn't like how it was coming across, let me put it that way. And I said to him, I think we can make some adjustments to bring it to life. And it was a sort of jam, the first jam. And he's like, you know, this is what I was really having in my head. I said, I hear you, but it's just not coming out clean enough. And I know from my experience, no matter how much times I drill this, it just would not get what we're looking for. So I do have some recommendations. How about, you think about this, give it some thought. He said, you know what, go ahead, look at it, make the recommendations. And what we're able to do now, just, with making some maneuvering, moving some stuff around, cutting out some things. So what he had was all of the pans playing this very long run. So by the time you get to the end of it, we know, for those people who are a bit more experienced, it makes it, when you have very difficult runs, the low pans tend to fall off at the end of it all. So we made some adjustment, pull out a few things. So it made the entrance into the jam that much more beautiful. Because now when they execute it, you could really bring that essence, right? If I had the music here, I'd play it for you. But so with that recommendation, because you have that experience as that type of drill master, you can make much more informed decisions on the way forward for the song. The first year, the ending, we need to do something for the ending. The ending is just not impactful enough. So arranger, put something, think about it. It needs to be nice and big. It's too abrupt. So you get to have that conversation with the arranger, as opposed to, the average drill master, they just, whatever the arranger put down, they just clean up, right? So you get to be very much a part of the musical decisions moving forward as that type of drill master. A Cordice, if you know a Cordice is that kind of drill master as well. He's a bit more involved in the direction. Yeah. All right, so the question here was, before I move on, or one last question, or we're running out of time. Okay, I don't know if we have a lot of time, but so the gentleman was asking about, how we clean up a run, right? What are some of the things you can do? And I'll do it very quickly. What run do you guys know? Okay, let's try this. B, C, C sharp, D, right? And then we go G sharp, A, B flat, B. So, sho do do dee do 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 do. Ready? Let's try it slow. 3. Actually, no. I'm going to count off on your plate, right? So this is what I want to hear. Sho ba da ba da ba da ba. 3 and go and. Just play with your mistakes. If you make mistakes, what's your name? What's your name?
Petra.
Petra. Play with your mistake. It's okay. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba. 3 and go and. So it's not very clear, right? They're making some mistakes. Fine. It's very new to them. Don't think too hard. I'm just going to try to do a short demonstration. I wanted you to make the mistakes. So what? Very simple. Let's take it apart. We can start by just doing it in halves, or we can just say, depending on how complex it is, let's just take 2 notes at a time. So let's take 4, because I think you guys can manage it. We'll go B, C, C sharp, D. But we're going to take it really slow. Ta, 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 ta. Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Put a little accent on the first note. Go and. Ready and go and. Faster and go and. Boom. Bum 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 bum. The double time and go and. Ready and go and. I'm just make it quick, right? No, just one time. Just ready and go and. Ready and go and. Now, another thing that we would do, if we find that we are speeding it up and they're not getting it, we'll go and check to make sure that they have the right sticking. Like the notes, they're using the right hand. So sometimes that makes it a little difficult for them to play. So it helps as a drill master, or just as a musician, as a arranger, to know that they're using the right sticking to play, to execute it, all right? We're going to add the G sharp, right? We're going to take it back slow. Shum, bum, bum, bum. Ready, just G sharp, and. Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Boom, dum, dum, dum. Ready and go and. Boom. Ready and go and. Boom, dum, dum, dum. Ready and go and. Alright, so let's play 2. We're going to play an accent on the first one, the B, and then an accent on the G sharp. Dum, 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 dum. Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Ready and go and. Gang, 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 gang. Ready and go and. And then you just go, on and on and on and get it, more and more difficult, right? But these are good players, so it was easy, right? Sometimes it gets it. Give them a round of applause. Yes. Right? They're just kind of breaking it up in different ways. When you have more time, you spend it on. But I like to, just if I can just put this out there, when I'm running rehearsals, I do have my rehearsals planned. So I like to have rehearsals. I would say it's only 2 hours long. And this is for everybody. If it's 2 hours long, this is what I want to complete by the end of the rehearsal. If I do finish that plan, I might push on a little bit, but not past the 2-hour time that I want. It's because I believe people need to have their personal time too. So I don't want to be in a panyan for 10 hours and 11 and 12 hours, all right? For Hell's Gate, we practice for majority of the season 2 hours, thereabout. For Panorama, 2.5 hours. And there's only the week leading up to, we may push on a little bit. And the night before, for tradition, is when we practice until like 3 in the morning. But there's also that same night is when we do the least amount of practice. They do their sectionals up until about 9:30. We get together, do our final runs, and they eat from about 11:30 until like 1 o'clock and lie and chill. We come back together, we split the band in two, and they compete against one another, and we have the audience judge which sect they did the best, and then we send the pans up to the grounds at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right? So a little bit about that. I know Connie was saying we're out of time. So
yeah, because we do have to move instruments, we have to set a gain, and then we have a conversation with you later. We
Sure.
also have Pan Fantasy. So people, did you enjoy this? If you enjoyed this, let's say a big round of applause.
you had a question?
Over the last couple of years, this has been like a norm. It seems like since COVID, we got this, right? Which I think is so informative and so nice to have.
Okay, I
And
don't
if you
know.
guys
Oh,
like
Babu,
this,
yeah.
please look out. Joy does this all
Babu
the time.
died.
Conrad does this as well. It's very informative. You get to learn
Okay,
so
okay.
many new things. Like I said,
Oh,
I
really?
learned
Okay.
about 10 different
Okay,
things today,
okay.
tonight alone.
Yeah, man.
So if you enjoyed, once again, please give it up for Mr. Khan.
Yeah.
At this time, we will have a slight intermission because, like I said, we do have to strike Souls of Steel Pan, and Pan Fantasy is going to set up. And then I believe we're going to do a round table discussion with our arrangers tonight as well. So we have Mr. Andre Rouse that is here from Souls of Steel. We also have Mr. Al Foster as well. Oh, you're going to do it now? Okay, cool. We can do that now. I think Wendy went for it, but then I told her, okay, cool. So don't go far, Con. And we also have Silex, who's going to play some music during the intermission as well. But, Conrad, you get it, because Wendy is go inside the kitchen and she is forgetting. So please, bring that presentation now. While Con does some, things there.
Who's playing music?
Silex will be playing some music.
Okay.
Wendy, come, let's go. We're on fire here tonight. And like we said, we do have food on sale. The bar is open. And please check Mary Kay outside, Janet. Right? Wendy, you have a nice perfume outside. You had to buy for me for Christmas. So come. I know you just reached from a gate. Come. We're on time. Can I read it? Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
Wendy always tell people to hang on.
Good night, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm glad you all came out to be a part of this little conference that we're doing in a sense. And it is amazing to have Ken Cordice here. We've all heard so much about you, but we have never had the opportunity to actually meet you in person. So it was really nice last night to see him in the Panyard. And I want to say thank you for visiting. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Tom.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you can clap that, yeah. He jumped on the drum kit one time, and as soon as he got to the Panyard, it was really good. So he just fit right in. And I think that is what we talk about when we see pan players all over the world. They can fit in any band at any point in time. But the one thing that was really funny for us is the fact that he looked so small in front of Exodus, and when we met him, he was so tall. So tonight we want to say thank you to you. And this is coming from the Canadian Federation of Steelpan. We want to present you with this plaque.
Okay.
And I'm going to get Al to do the presentation. I'm just going to read what's on it. As being a master of the Steelpan instrument, a visionary arranger, an inspiring educator, in celebration for your creativity, your passion, and your support and your devotion to the Steelpan art form. On behalf of the Canadian Federation of Steelpan, in collaboration with the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Toronto, Canada, November 7th, 2025. And Al Foster is going to present this to you on behalf of us.
I thought you had here on today. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is unexpected.
Who's taking a picture?
Oh.
Thank you.
All right.
Are we supposed to
Appreciate
say something, or we're going to turn it back over to the MC?
Would you like to say something, sir? He's right here.
say thanks.
Thank you. I mean, we'll speak later. Yeah, we'll speak about it later. Yeah.
So people, we're gonna have some music from Clex. Please check the vendors. Mary King, ask them which cologne I like. You know, Wendy. This is Wendy. Wendy, you want to Janet over there? Go and get a cologne for your boy Eve for snowflakes. You know, you like the sparkles, make it smell good too. Right? Intermission time while we strike, and then we're gonna bring fantasy in, and then we're gonna do a roundtable discussion. So please don't go nowhere. We're here.
Hey, I need to get a picture for my social media.
You want it? I can get it now.
What's that?
I can get it now. Which picture you want?
Just send me something. Yeah, one of these here. What's that?
Do you want something to eat?
What do you have?
Chicken and rice and salad.
Oh no, I don't want anything so heavy, boy.
Yeah.
I good. I'll just take another water.
Yes. Like that, eh?
Why you tall?
Yeah.
I thought you were like in your 20s. When you said 35, you don't look like 35.
She's one of the gang too. Canadian Federation.
Been around a long time, young man.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
Get him?
Yeah. So, Mr. Ren, tell me what was your message you want to leave with the folks here in Toronto tonight?
Sorry?
The main message you want to leave with the pan folk in Toronto tonight?
So much. It's a hard question. Anything?
Summarize, man.
Well, certainly, to look at the Steelpan as probably one of the greatest inventions to come out of the Caribbean, and how we can continue to use the instrument to uplift people in so many ways, not just from a mental level, from a emotional level, but also from an economical level. Right? We can use it to create job opportunities in pan building, in pan playing, in arranging, even in support sectors. So people who make stands and them kind of things. So, to continue, so we can use that to uplift our people.
Your victory last year in Trinidad, was that your first victory in Trinidad?
Correct.
Will you be going back next year?
Yes, I will.
With the same band?
Yes.
How did it feel to win last year?
Well, of course, it felt great. Trinidad, to be a part in any form, winning in any competition, but certainly in the Mecca of Steelpan is always a great thing. To be a part of, Exodus being one of the world's best steel bands. To be a part of that process is always heartwarming. Gratitude to the organization for having me working with them. I'm looking forward to many, many more years.
And how many panoramas have you won in Antigua?
11.
11. And apart from Trinidad, have you arranged in any other islands?
Yeah, I do some work in Guyana with a small group called what's the name of the group? Why am I not remembering the room? What's the name of the group? Oh my, those guys give me. I work in a group in Guyana. They've placed second pretty much all the years, and we're trying to see if we can take that top spot. Andrew White arranged for the band and win, but we're going to get there next year.
Have you been to London and New York?
I've not been there for Panorama now because it happened around the same time of what happened in Antigua. But as part of in the very near future, I do hope to be there. I'm doing some work there.
Congrats.
Man.
Camera.
Okay.
Newspaper.
Okay. What's that?
I just want to say hello to you.
Oh, thank you.
Meet you in person. I've been following you up since back in the when you won the 25 aside.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And probably, I think I have a nephew from Boston who says he knows you very, very well now. His name is Christoph.
What's his name?
Christoph Claude. Plays bass.
Okay, yeah.
Plays with Elon Trotman.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's from New York?
No, Boston.
Where?
Boston.
Okay, the same guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Berkeley graduate.
Right. Yeah. I met him in person like 2 years ago, or last year, I think.
Well, I'm proudly telling that I met you in person.
All right, man, no problem.
One other question. Your panorama size are usually like
110 on the stage here. But we have about 160 in the pan yard. The big band.
Best arrangement I've ever heard. Nobody gonna run me.
Yeah, man.
I could talk.
No, that's too heavy. That's too heavy for me. What kind of chicken you have there? I'll go check.
Anyway,
man, nice to meet you, man.
Yes, hope to meet you again sometime.
Yeah, man, for sure.
have a lot of Antiguan friends, you know.
Okay, okay. Oh, good.
All right, take care.
Hi, man. Hi there. I say good.
Everybody want to take a picture with you. I just booking me here. I send it straight to me.
Come on.
This your ticket.
I'll check it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go back. You want to go and get out some? Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One question for you. You
Sure.
guys have any pan factory in Antigua?
Yeah, that was the question as he did ask about pan builders, pan tuners. But we do have some guys that build in Antigua, yeah. That's where my pan is from.
Okay. I know you talk about tuners.
Yeah.
So I would imagine.
Yeah, we have builders in Antigua. Yeah. We have builders in Antigua. Yeah, man.
God bless.
Hi, man. Let me see. Let me show. Is it like a quarter?
Well, open it. She'll show you.
Okay, I'll just take some chicken then.
Just chicken?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can work with that. Forehead shine, boy.
I know that.
Yeah, that's fine, man. It's okay.
What I could do?
My age drop is on.
Who's dying to meet you?
Oh, sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet
You're
you too.
very knowledgeable. I'm not a Steelpan girl. I don't play it, but I just love what I heard, and I'm very
So you need to
impressed.
start playing Steelpan.
So she coming to Antigua to learn.
He's been trying to get me into it.
Maybe a piece of napkin,
and I
yeah?
tell him to take me to Antigua, and he won't take
Why
me.
you not taking the lady to Antigua?
No!
Sorry,
no,
one
no,
second.
He doesn't want me to find nobody down there.
My allergies.
No.
Not fair.
Why you not taking the lady to
I'm
Antigua?
very impressed. You're very knowledgeable for the little time I was there.
You're not taking any sand to the beach. What's your name, sorry?
Diane.
Diane?
Yes.
Nice to meet you again, man.
Nice to meet you again. I love your complexion.
Oh, thanks. Just take out this piece of me, please. I don't want to waste it. Not like, I don't want so much. Thanks.
Yeah, put on your.
Oh, you didn't? I thought it went through.
That's you here, honey?
Yeah, can, yeah. Thanks, man. So how you got it on your phone?
Because this is Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, the Wi-Fi. Oh, okay.
So anytime I'm doing like, because I do a lot of shoots for the Toronto Raptors and
Really?
NBA
Okay.
and Forbes magazine and all of that.
Right.
So they want stuff like
Yeah, okay, got it.
right? So what's your friend?
So you edit it on your phone?
Sometimes like sometimes I would add like lighting or whatever, but
Right.
I do it quickly.
Okay, okay. Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, so I just download everything and then I share. But sometimes, like celebrities, like okay, I did some work with Tyler Perry Studios.
Okay.
And one of the actors wanted the image right away, so I was able to download it and send it immediately. When you're moving like that,
Yeah. Okay. It's on the table there.
it's on the table.
Yeah.
That's how I,
No sweetness.
If you want, we could retake this photo if you want.
That's okay, man.
It's okay?
Yeah, that's me. I have an oily forehead.
Me too, I have oily skin.
Yeah.
How are we going to set up this?
So like, I was telling the makeup artist, so I clean my face with a black soap, but I don't put any lotion or anything on. I don't cream my face because it's already oily. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Done.
just generally oily.
Yeah, before I have oily skin, yeah.
Doing good?
How are we going to set up the round table? You come with me. Opening ceremony. Now, we're ready to jam now. You all right?
It's turning the wrong way. Oh! That's the top. Hold on. Just grab it.
But why do they have a hole at the bottom?
They turn, that's they turn it the wrong way.
Oh!
Yeah, they turn it the wrong way. They can try it in the bin.
Sir, if you pass it, sir.
Yeah, that's his top.
How did it go?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Very good. It's going very well. The crowd seems very appreciative. And it's not too large, it's intimate. That's what I'm looking for.
We're going to get some, that cold water over here.
Yeah, that water. Just go
How it
down
is?
for water.
I was waving at you.
Apparently they all thought you're small. Apparently everyone thought that you were some small guy. My dad's telling me how many people are surprised. You want food?
Huh?
I'm gonna probably have to catch you tomorrow though because my friend, we came from a viewing.
Okay.
So she's tired. Yeah.
No problem, man.
We have
Tomorrow.
a funeral tomorrow. There's a closer friend to her. So.
Right.
And at least I caught that part. My dad took some videos, so I'll probably send it.
All right, no problem, man. All right.
Oh, you went by my friend here.
Huh?
You went by my
Pan,
friend here.
yeah.
Giselle said we were supposed to end, and he came, and everyone had energy.
Let me get a ginger ale.
Well, that's not cool.
Huh?
That's not cool.
Okay.
Ginger ale. Ginger ale. You want ginger ale?
It says it's not cold.
Not cold. Now.
Oh, so this is where Swords of Steel practice.
No, they practice in a church, an Antiguan church, a Moravian church. I got them in the church.
Why I asked that? Because I see them packing up in there.
Yeah. Look, there's a truck out there. Yes, my dear. One of my sons, I got 3 sons.
But he's taller than you.
All of them. All of them.
How old is he?
I think he's 40. He's the last.
Oh, okay.
No, I have a girl younger than him. But he's the last of the boys.
How many kids you have?
6. And even only women who need I'll take it. I've got some more, man. Hey.
That's what keep you young.
Yeah, exactly. The grandkids keep me young. 14 grandkids. What's that?
What the?
The black soap is good for cleaning the fish.
Yeah, so what it does, I use. Yes, it is. It's charcoal soap. Yeah, so it helps take out some of the oil out of the skin and the clean off like dead skin. Yeah. It's supposed to also help sort of even out some of your tones too, but nothing harsh. It's not like bleaching cream or anything like that. But like any imperfection, it's supposed to help the thing.
It's my son.
Yeah.
Colin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Nice to meet you.
How you like your dad?
Sorry?
Are you like your dad?
Do I like my dad?
No, are you like
I
him?
like him, yeah, we play pen, yeah, I play pen.
Oh.
And you have 4 kids already.
You have 4 kids?
Yeah,
You have 2 more to go.
I know, I'm waiting. Yes. How much is the chicken?
Ever been? Been? Thank you. Getting what?
How we get in the band to Antigua?
They don't need us.
No, I guess.
Listen, help me, you know.
I know. You know how many hours I spend in East Spaniard?
Maybe there's some opportunity because Moods of Pan,
Oh,
the
right.
festival there, maybe.
What month is that?
It's last week in November, or depends on how the month falls. So if the Saturday and the Sunday falls like the 1st, 2nd of December, it will be that weekend.
Okay.
But if not, it will be the last weekend in December, in November.
In November, okay. I thought it was May.
No.
They normally have some schools competitions.
Yeah, that's in November. That's in October. The end of October.
1 year was there.
So that's what you doing with them now?
What's that?
You working with Hell's Gate for that now?
No. November 22nd is our concert. That happens a weekend after. Moods of Fun happens. We're not entering this year, no.
I go in Spaniard and I go and sleep after 1. Because I don't want to leave.
Listen,
And Brexit.
from the time I meet Conroy is always talking about Hell's Gate. I just called his name.
We talk about Hey, is this going to get to the Observer? I don't want to put the Observer in.
They want the Point Express.
Yeah, Point Express.
I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get to Antigua.
She wants to go to Antigua too. What? Boy, I'm telling you.
I'm not saying
What's that?
You going up tomorrow, you say?
Going up where? Home? No, Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Brampton? That's the name? Brampton, yeah.
Brampton, yeah. The area of Steel and Gravity Road.
my cards here, a couple
Sure.
of my cards.
Sure.
I'm getting the shot from more sideways. Well, I hope when they set up the panel, I can get a more frontal view.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to leave that with you.
Okay, no problem.
I appreciate it.
You need me to, you need
Actually, I have another one here. If that one starts to fit, I'm going to come and get it to you.
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
But you want me to turn it off for now?
Yeah, this is for the mute.
Which one, this button?
Yeah. This is one. Yeah, it's underneath.
So everything you say,
It's going to
this
get
guy out there to write. Now watch yourself, eh? You blackmail you after.
We are the drinks them in a night. We gonna party all night, all night. 24 parties we in a row. Tonight at the very last show. Before we head up on the road, the girl them are release the road. So let me see your hands up, so everybody know put your hands up, so if you're ready for the road, let your friend them know. We're ready for the road.
Shortly, we're going to get together a roundtable discussion with the arrangers. So we're going to be calling Khan, we're going to be calling Mr. Andre Rouse. Is Rouse still here? He's here, right? Okay, good. And we're calling Mr. Al Foster. So stand by, because we're going to start back the presentation very shortly, all right? Oh, and Joy Locks as well. Beautiful. Yeah, man. Bring them in. All right, so 5 minutes and we started. Let's go. Everybody. to invite everybody to please come back on the inside. Please come back on the inside. All right. We had a brief intermission. And now we're getting ready to start. So can you please give a big round of applause for Steelpan for keeping us going for the last 45 minutes to an hour. Thank you, sir. And please make sure if you have any events and you want music, check out Steelpan. Available for corporate events, weddings, anniversaries, private parties, and club booking. Steelpan. Okay, bye. All right, you have to go to our club. You tell me already. All right. Thank you for being here, brother. Andre Rouse in the house, please. Calling Andre Rouse in the house, please. So, as I said earlier, we've been announcing all the upcoming events. Gemini and St. Paul's has something on December 13th, I believe it is. And Pan Arts Network is celebrating how many years? And you'll get to get 2 tickets. How many years? Wow, it's on the table, people. It's on the table. What did you say? Sorry? Oh, Lee Miller, man, you're slacking, bro. Nah, too late. So we have a complimentary ticket. I'll need your email address and I'll email it to you tonight, okay? All right, congratulations. You won a ticket for Snowflakes on Steel 28th annual celebrating Pan here in Toronto. Wendy, I believe you missed it earlier. Khan has mentioned that he's been watching us over the years. He's been watching our shows online, like Autumn Leaves, where we brought Duvon, when we brought Liam. He said he's been watching all of that, so he picked us up. And now, we're going to get into a very informative part of the event, where we're going to do like a round table event. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm looking forward to this because, like I said, I learned so much tonight. Wendy, one more thing. Did you know that Hell's Gate is 80 years old? I never knew that. I learned that tonight. That's big. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough of me. And let's get into this roundtable discussion. I see that we have some amazing Pan soloists, arrangers here today. And we call this the round table with Cordice. Here you go.
Good evening, everyone. So I think two of the questions I was going to ask were asked already. Spoke extensively about Hell's Gate. I wanted to ask you, though, concerning Hell's Gate, is it fair to say that Hell's Gate has become like a rite of passage for Steelpan enthusiasts, Steelpanists? Is it becoming like an accreditation that Antiguans are feeling they have to go through Hell's Gate to get
that?
I hope not. Because we're not the only steel band in Antigua, so I don't want people to feel like they have to come through Hellsgate. But what we've tried to do certainly over the last 20 plus years, is to have very good relationships with the other bands. So there's a band by the name of Pandemonium that started, actually they celebrated the anniversary like 2 weeks ago, that we have very good relationship with, and we have supported them through their build-up, let them stands, pans, so that they could get into competitions. So what we try to do is really have a good relationship with the other bands. We don't want anybody to feel like in Antigua band, we're the only band, but certainly to understand the level of contribution that we would have given over the last 80 years and how we want to see the industry grow. If Hellsgate, and I say this all the time, even to the association in Antigua, if Hellsgate is the only band, I'm not sure that we have a very successful community. But we can find creative ways to benefit from one another. So that same band, Pandemonium, the racks were built by a member of Hellsgate. They decided to go with the same exact setup. The racks look exactly the same. And we don't have an issue with that because it's all in the nature of just building the community. And we just continue to enforce that in all of our activities that we have on a basis.
Awesome. When you say the same setup, what do you mean?
If we painted all of their pans like our pans, it would look like Hellsgate. Like the racks look exactly the same. We have a kind of rocket ship. It's not rocket ship, but if you look at the cello racks, it looks exactly the same like ours. Okay. The high pan racks, the bass racks look exactly the same. Okay. They use the same setting of pans as what we do.
Like the same structure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the captain and who was here, Dr. Zara Lake, she actually was my drill master at one point in time. She came to Hellsgate as well. So, and I would have been instrumental in assisting the start of the band when it started in the beginning.
So earlier we spoke about drill masters, comparing drill masters to arrangers. So I wanted to ask each one of you, what has been your personal, or what is the relationship between drill master and arranger, and what have been your personal experiences, be those good or bad, in Canada or in the Caribbean? So I'm going to go straight to you, Audrey.
Oh, that's me. Okay, I guess I would say that the importance of a drill master, I'll speak on that. Now, when I was arranging for New Dimensions, I think we started in 2009, and I didn't have a drill master. I didn't have anyone to drill the parts. So I had to do what a lot of arrangers do, which is walk away from the band. So you can listen to the music and the flow of the music. And I would say that having a drill master there is pivotal because you want your music to be perfect, right? You want to hear it the way you hear it. And having somebody else to bounce ideas off of, it helps the music. We're talking about like the flow of the music, and being able to step away from the band and have somebody else conduct. They can give you some advice. They can give you some suggestions. They can point out things that may be missing. Maybe point out things that need to be included that you won't hear because you're as the arranger, or really the composer, really, right? You are looking at the whole piece, whereas the drill master is able to take it in parts. And just like any other artist, your art is never going to be perfect enough. So you, as the arranger, might be drilling one part over and over and over again and not paying attention to other parts of the tune that need to be drilled. So when I was able to, I was in. How much time do I have? Am I good? Okay, good. So I went to London, England, for the first time in 2013, and unbeknownst to me, Bugsy Sharp was arranging for Mangrove, and obviously I've been playing with Phase 2. So when I was there, he was like, "You do music?" You know how he talks. I was like, "Yes, Bugsy, I do music." He's like, "How when you be the drill master? You gonna drill it? You're drilling it, right?" Yeah. And all consonants, no vowels. So I said, "Yeah, I'll drill the band." And it was the first time I drilled the band. But I watched Natasha from Phase 2 drill, and I am a person that absorbs things as I go along. So I was able to draw on a lot of the details, the way she methodically went through the music. I was able to draw on that and do the same thing with Mangrove. And I had a blast because you get to really see another side of the music, right? So it's like you get to play with the fabric of it, and it helped me as a musician. It helped my ear training because I didn't know the song. So as I'm drilling, I'm also learning it, and I was able to have a different type of rapport with Bugsy because normally I'm just taking notes from him, whereas I'm able to have a musical conversation with him, and that in and of itself was magical. So I think there's a relationship that needs to be, that's very important between the arranger and the drill master. It can't just be anybody. And there needs to be mutual respect because artists are very sensitive about their artwork. And you have to find the right words to be critical, but not mean, and be able to speak to someone that will be able to listen to what you're saying.
Did anyone want to add anything?
I think you covered a lot of what I wanted to say, and I agree with your sentiments. The synergy between drill master and arranger is important. Just having that conversation, making sure you're on the same page, and making sure that we're moving towards the same goal. If I was to use an analogy, it would be if we can appreciate taking a car to a car wash, and you wash it and you dry it. The drilling process adds the wax, the polish. Because if you're a driver, you just own a car and you just want it clean. But there are some of us who want it detailed. The drilling process adds the detail. It adds the detail, you get it all the nooks and crannies, you wipe the mats and all the stuff and go with the fine brushes, and that's what the drilling process really, that's the difference. And especially from an arranging standpoint where you can stand on the outside and listening, and sometimes in the heat of the moment when you're actually in the middle, because I purposely position myself relatively central to all the instruments, and you're hearing all the instruments, but you're so on a different level. When you stand outside and you listen to it, you really, some of the times when you're hearing certain things, certain textures and certain things that you've done, you're looking at it like, oh, I did that. And sometimes you have a different appreciation for it. You want to go back and change it, or even that's a conversation that you have with the drill master now to say, hey, listen, I know I did this, but what do you think? And it's that extra ear that kind of gives you an advantage.
Joy? I'll preface this by saying I am honored to be in the company of these arrangers. I think I have experienced drilling more as a player with, especially in Pan Fantasy. And I think the things that I would flag from a management perspective is that I feel the band's energy changes when the drill master is coming. And so I think if I was speaking to a band manager in the space or someone who's thinking, how can I level up the mindset of the band? Just by bringing somebody else in. Hey, Ben is coming in, they're flying him in. And people, I feel like sometimes we can get into we're getting into those last weeks. And sometimes there's a bit of fatigue, there's a bit of, what's the energy that I'm bringing to the space? And just to have somebody else that people respect and that is a great idea. And I think it's almost like, hey, we're bookkeeping, but then the auditor's coming, right? And the energy changes. And I think that sometimes, because we're in a relatively new practice, we don't always think, what can we take from other spaces? And so I've worked in the dance space, adding color and music, and similar to that space, comes a time in you're coming down to the end, and the choreographer, the AD, he steps back and somebody else comes in to do the same thing. And so I feel like it gives them a mental rest, but again, there are other practices that are taking that place where it's literally like we can't even speak to the choreographer when we're coming down to those technical rehearsals because there's another assistant that's there essentially drilling in the space, and I think it really makes a difference. And I think sometimes as players, and again I'll speak from that side, we often can forget the load that's on the arranger. And so I think when you bring in a drill master, you can, like as Al said, it gives you that chance to step back, give them a little bit of a mental break to assess their work from a different angle, and give us, and have this, maybe there's a fresh thing, like it's been said here, you pull something out, I didn't see that, the drill master pulled that out, and now we're literally elevating the piece as a result of bringing this person in.
If I could just add one thing, two things actually, just because I'm a teacher as well, and there are a lot of times where I'll be part of conversations where people, they kind of dog teachers and they talk about the breaks we have, the PA days and the summers off, but I always say to them, if you can stand in front of 20 to 30 people daily, and all you're doing is asking and answering questions, that is really what a teacher's doing all the time. Talk to me. And the second thing I would say is, the arranger or the composer deals with the notes, and the drill master deals with the music. And when you put that together, that's where you get the performance. I think that's the train of thought, right? Because as the arranger, you should four-pan, do this, then you're just giving notes, right? And then the drill master is able to kind of weave it together and remind the players where they are in the music and what things to bring out, right? So the story is told.
So that brings me to you, Con. You were the drill master for Exodus 2025, pulled them into a win. So can you talk about how that relationship evolved? Was it a difficult transition? Was it, kind of loading the question, I should leave it completely open.
Sure. So my relationship with Exodus as drill master actually started back in 2023. I did get a call from the manager, Angel Mohammed, sometime in 2022, where he did mention to me that they have been having some conversations about me coming down and doing some work with the RBO Exodus. And when you get a call from Trinidad, you have to take a breath, sometimes you wonder if it's real, right? I mean, Trinidad being Trinidad, you talk about panorama in Trinidad, it's one of the biggest conversations. It's even more so daunting idea when you start to talk about being that involved in the operations of the band, especially as you try to execute panorama. It's even worse now when you start thinking, okay, this is a band that is a popular band, right? And if you find they weren't doing that great, the years prior, but they were making it to the finals, and you start thinking, what if I come in and it doesn't work out, right? But I'm the kind of person That's the most I can. I can just give you my best. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Seems like it work out most times. But in 2023, we started our relationship. It was a very different experience in walking into the yard. I remember the very first night I walked into the yard. So I'm the kind of person that I like to listen. For many, many years, I never had a drill master. So I developed the art of drilling because I didn't have a drill master. So I have to come out of my arranger, creative head in a way. And
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's,
I know what you mean. You hear the music and you're like, if this was me.
Right? So because of that, there's one thing that I do, and I've been training some of the young people that I work with. So stand up in the middle of the band, in the middle of the group, and I would tell them, just close your eyes and listen. And I'll ask them, what do you hear? They say, I hear the run, I hear the bass line. I said, no, you need to listen to the imperfections. Right? And then you start to break it down. So when you listen and you close, you're just filtering out all of the goodness and you're really focusing on the bad. And that is what you want to get cleaned up, right? That's what you want to start to address. So when I went to Exodus, I went and sit down in the stands. Just before that, I went to in the day, went to the arranger. I introduced myself to the arranger. His response to me, actually, and we were very good friends. So he said, whatever they hire you to do, just, you kind of just walk out. It was very cool, and I didn't know how to, to interact with that. So when I got to the night, I just went in the stands and I sat down and listened. I am the kind of person, even, with all of my accolades, with all of my championships, the areas that I know, director of culture, musical director, I still like to get my hands dirty. I like to be very involved in the process. So, sitting in the stand was a bit rough for me, but I did it because I wanted to hear, I didn't want to cause any friction. And then the second night in, I realized, the arranger doesn't need to help. He's distributing notes, and he's getting frustrated because he's trying to, he's still trying to figure it out in his head. And people are playing. So I say, let me go down there and help him. So listen, you take a break, go up, gather your thoughts. I would deal with the band, started drilling right through it. And right there and then, we started having a very good relationship. So, we built that relationship in 2023, and we did have a tourist level. We came second, and that would have been the first time we placed since 2012, somewhere around there. And then, the next year we did a long time. That was a very interesting year. Came to a third that year, the 2 months title first. So when we got into 2025, I think this year was different from most of the other years because we had a very early conversation about the song. I remember having a conversation back on November 1st. We arranged and I said, this is the tune. And that was the tune that we did in 2025, right? I love this tune. Consider this tune. But I do know it's also not a tune that he's accustomed to. Alright? But we've been doing stuff that you're accustomed to. And it's been working, but we still want to try it. So we actually were supposed to do it's a song that Renegades did, Bentley. That's actually what they were going to do. And they went through so Exodus has a way which is different from what I'm accustomed to. So they teach the players like 5, 6 songs. And depending on how the players resonate with the music, they will choose one. It was very interesting to me. In my mind, it can be really troublesome. I'm going to really disappoint me. But happily, they went touring, right? And I can see the frustration coming out of the flat room with the arranger. And one of the things I said to him, I said, I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but I think you have the prowess. You can get it done, right? I think this year was one of his best work, yet. He ended up winning, first right through the competition. So, different. But it was good. But definitely, and in Trinidad, sorry if I can just plug this as well, because of how intense the competition is, I think you guys have one round. You have one round. You have a prelims and semis. In Trinidad, it's 3 rounds. So I remember one of the things that I did when I go in, and I use it back at home too, even though it's 1 round. After coming to the quarterfinals, it was, okay, the next round, people like, cool, we're 2 points behind the band, we're comfortable. Like, nah, we're back to 0. We have to now go start again. So to get that into the players' minds, the drilling, I did mention earlier about just getting into the mental side. I play a lot of mental as it relates to drilling. I have to, if I can, and if I have time, just in terms of my experiences. One of the experiences that I had in 2023 that I'd love to share with you guys is so the night before the quarterfinals, there was a little scuffle in the back between two of the senior members. And yeah, let's do it, alright? No, when we talk about drilling, and this is just my approach, I'm not sure that everybody takes the same approach. Focusing on that mental and just the whole psyche of the members. When that happens the night before the competition, I think that people get unsettled, right? There's this sort of negative energy, right? What was strange to me was when the players like, it happens every year. So I think I mentioned earlier that I love to reflect. I reflect every conversation that I have. Maybe that's why I don't sleep too well very often. Now I'll be sleeping and I'm thinking about conversation. So I'm there sitting there like, this is not good. It's not good. I remember a situation happened in Antigua, and that is what taught me about just trying to create positive energies. And I said to the captain, this cannot be okay. It cannot be okay. And I pulled them into what we call the tent. That's the big area where they store all the pans. And I had a conversation with them. We spent maybe about 45 minutes inside there. We just talking to them, right? First starting out explaining to them who I am, what I do. A lot of them knew me from Panorama that they hosted, and then they knew the soloist, the guy that worked at Hellscape, but they didn't know me as the family man, the guy who's administrating Antigua. Left my job to come to Trinidad to do some work with them. So it's much for me. It's much greater than just being there. And if I'm there, I want to see if I can impact positively, right? I don't come there to this line and waste time, right? So having that conversation with them and then explain to them why it's necessary for us to have positive energy going forward. I mean, if it is the over two people having a scuffle the night before the competition, what happens the night of? And I think in that moment when they understood my philosophy, and where I'd love to see the back go, right? Something as simple as drinking just before we go on stage. I know in the Steelpan culture, there's a big thing. I have no issues with drinking, but anything that would potentially impede your cognitive function. Right. Can potentially be a problem. So I use a term of that, focus. And if you do pass by Exodus during Panorama, you would hear them repeating the term very often. Focus. Because it's a term that I would have embedded in their minds, because it's very, very important. It's a difference between when they're not focused. It's a difference between when they go on stage and you're counting on somebody play just before the count is finished. All right. So it's really to get in their mind that this is what is important. And just on the mental side of drilling as well, I spend a lot of time explaining to people verbally and visually what I'm looking for. So as a drill master, Exodus would have experienced quite a bit of it, because I don't do that much drilling at home, because I'm a ranger, right? But I do drilling outside of Antigua, and certainly I did a lot of it with Exodus. So it is not just, I want you to do a crescendo starts off, and you get lower, right? It is, I want you to start here and sing it, So I want a crescendo, we're not going to start at 0. I want you to start at about 10%. I want you to be, this is what I want. Explain it to you. So a lot of times they do a lot of singing as well. So they will sing the part before they play. Right? So it's to get in their minds, this is what we're looking for. When you go back to practice it, and then a lot of people when they're drilling, I have a friend, they believe that you can just come and drill a part one time, that's it. Now, tomorrow we have to go back at it, the next day we have to go back at it. Right? And even as we would have perfected it, we're still touching it, in different ways, just probably won't spend that much time as we did in the beginning. So, really to get on the mental side of the drilling, my experience with Exodus. If any of you are interested in playing with Exodus, you have to go down early.
Okay, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I would say Pan has become more, or viewed more, has evolved. It's
not just seen as a sole presence in a competition anymore. What, and this is a general question for each of you. How do you feel about that? What are your views on it? Do you like where Pan's going? Do you have any concerns about where it's going? What are your personal visions?
I do like where it's going, but I do think there's some areas that we're missing. And I remember earlier what I was going to touch on. It was the pan building aspect of things, right? And I'll bring it up in this part of the discussion. I do like the pan going. So in all of my life, I've always been able to appreciate small mercies. Now, for a lot of people, it looks like, we're not doing enough. We're not yet 100 years old. So we must cherish and appreciate that, what we've been able to accomplish. To be able to move from it being
Steelpan is concerned. Two main points is that that we have to be mindful of is that there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody, right? There's so much things, and the even just the creation of the Steelpan, the EPAN and the FI and all the other stuff that come out of it. That's proof of that. Is that there's room for everybody in this, and the second thing is that. And this is the thing that resonated with me the most, is that when the Steelpan was being developed, when it was being created, I don't believe that the people who were responsible for that, I don't think they saw this. I don't think they saw Steelpan being played in front of a large audience in an auditorium. That is growth. That's growth. And I think that's where we have to start channeling our energy towards growth of this thing. And just giving ourselves grace as a community and saying, like, this instrument's not even 100 years old. Instrument's not even 100 years old. When you're comparing it, again, comparison is a thief of joy. So when we're comparing it with other instruments, we're already losing, right? We have to really sit back, step outside, and give ourselves grace to say, hey, listen, this is a great instrument, and we're very proud people, so we take that, we show a lot of pride in what is being created, but we also have to sit back and say, look how far we've come, right? Women could not access this instrument. Women couldn't access this instrument. And I know a lady, she plays in the band, and she is 84 years old, 85 years old. And one, you would never know. And two, she has so many stories to tell about the barriers that she faced. And she can call names like Casablanca, Highlanders, those names. And she knows those names. Her mother was a nurse, and her mother, she literally saw in her own living room during all the fights and everything that used to happen back then. Guys in her living room being stitched up. These are the stories that and those were the times where, Hamid Shah, God rest his soul, told me stories about how his mother used to pull his ears from in the backyard. You know what I mean? These are stories that we hear. So when we look at where Steelpan was and where Steelpan is, we can only be happy with where it's going. And I think we just need to give ourselves the grace for that.
So I'm very upset because you said everything.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Andre.
Everything I wanted to say. Including the fact that Pan is not 100 years old yet. That was my line. I wrote it down.
Well, I have a question for you then. What's your vision?
Okay, so I will say that I used to be of the frame of mind that, I'm born Canadian, but my parents are Trinidadian. As we say, no one can be played unless you're Trinidadian. What are you talking about? And now I am, Pan is Big Tent, and anyone could play it. And I was actually saying this earlier that I don't think Trinidad and Trinidadians understand the impact that Pan has around the world until they leave Trinidad. Pan is everywhere. It's in community centers, it's in places of worship, it's in universities, it's in the army, it's in jail, it's in Japan, it's in Sweden, Switzerland, South Africa. And so I really appreciate Trinidad's motto of being big on a small island. And I will say this, I think that Pan's trajectory is exactly where it needs to be. I'm not one of those people that think that Pan is stagnant or I'm not of that. I don't participate in those conversations. The evolution of Pan has happened so much quicker than any other instrument that's ever actually been invented. And it's in less than 100 years. I do think that we need Pan tuners. We need Pan makers. And we don't need to be afraid of people taking those schematics and making their own version of a steel pan. Because much like a lot of other instruments, you know where that instrument is from, and you should, not you should, but you will hopefully be guided to the right person to purchase an authentic pan. In terms of the vision, I do think that we can use different ideas with regards to seeing Pan in different performance spaces and doing different music. And that's kind of my vision and goal with Souls of Steel. I tend to refrain from doing quote unquote Pan music because I want to challenge myself. I want to broaden the perspective of my players and those that are listening. I would never suggest something that I haven't tried myself. And so I would encourage people who are in leadership roles to think of different ways that they can use Pan in ways that they're not accustomed to. And you may not know where you're going, but you'll bump into things that would surprise you, really and truly. I try to listen to music from all around the world, and that comes from my university days of being able to be in a classroom, but being exposed to North Indian classical music or gamelan. And it's interesting to go to different music in cultures to see how they perceive music and how they express themselves. You know, music in Trinidad is very different than music from Cuba. There are similarities, but there are also differences. So, yeah.
I think we're getting close to wrapping up, so I want to give the last.
Take it away, John.
What I want to add to what's been said is that when I think about the way forward, I'm thinking a lot about sustainability. And so what I would like to see is that we look at sustainability for the instrument in different areas. I'm actually working on a project to increase the findability of different steel pan stakeholders across the country, because in my work, and I think in a lot of our experiences, and probably a lot of people in the room, you're often, someone knows that you can know something about pan, that you play pan, and they come and ask you, who's teaching lessons? Where can I find a tuner? Where can I get sticks? Where can I buy a steel pan? And I think to Al's point, to me, that's an indication that there's so much work to be had, to be done, and so there's no reason for us to really be in competition, like against each other, only to improve ourselves in the interest of, again, the sustainability of the instrument. And so I think that's something that I want us to really look at from all angles. And so I would love to see the person, the youth in the room that are thinking about being a steel pan professional, right? What is it? I want us to make sure that that person can think that this is a thing that I can do. If that's the thing I want to do, that it can be done. And I think it can be done. And I think that, if we want to see steel pan as sustainable, we have to be able to have, the teacher down the street who's run into a classroom that, the instruments are steel pans. They need to be able to click online and purchase music that's age appropriate to Ken's, to his point. When the board says they want to purchase, we want to purchase steel pans, we need to have people that are on the vendor list, that have their insurance, that have the standards that they need to have in order to be a vendor to the boards, right? And so as a community, even though some of us might have a side hustle making stands or building pans, in order for us to do our part, we have to make sure that we have the I's dotted and the T's crossed so that we can engage in business. Because to me, that sustainability is really steeped in education, usually in some way, shape, or form. I really think that, I think Jesus is the answer, but I also think pan is the answer, right? Follow my train of thought here. But I think that I'm definitely somebody who loves the opportunity to play on a big stage, to be in a theater. But I think that what I love most about the instrument is that I think about the steel pan as the poster child for community engagement. And I think that we should be really proud that we have a practice where you can come in the panyard and feel a sense of home, right? So yes, you might have the arranger, you have the drill master, you might be the section leader and the players, but I'm always reminded of the people that would come in the panyard because they cook soup for the band, or they hold the babies of the people that are in the band, or they come to paint the racks, or they repaint Auntie Wendy's base, like that's their thing. And I think that I'm a Maslow person, and I think everybody wants a sense of belonging. I think we all naturally do, and I think that the steel band as the institution really offers that. And when I think about the root of West African traditions, yes, we want to perform. I want to be up there and make you clap, but I really think that the roots of our practice these are things that are built in connection or celebration. And so to me, that's the magic, that's the essence. And I think that sometimes we think, the rote-based teaching, not that there's challenges, but there's something about the roots of why we do it. And I think that is it's magical. And I say that to people who, Pan Fantasy just came from the OMEAs. That's the Ontario Music Educators Association, who set up a huge conference. And they're performing for educators, and they just lit up the space. And know that they're literally trying to decolonize education and music education and approaches to teaching and pedagogy, and they want Pan because, as Ken said, it's so accessible, right? And so I think that there's so much room for us to be able to benefit. There's so much room for us to all put our own twists on it. As it's been said, folks are going out there with their own brand, they're doing solo stuff, they're being sampled on records, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, I think it's the answer. We have a population that's aging. We have a population that's dealing with things like dementia. For them to come together and the golden ages or whatever, these things, like these are the things that we're literally using our instrument to address the budget items that the government can't do. Where was Ken when his friend got shot? He was in the Panyard, right? So whether it's youth engagement, that's really at the core of a lot of the work that's happening, whether it's developing leaders, whether it's developing leadership skills, you know what I mean, senior engagement, children, like there's so many things, and so I really think that, again, that we really have the chance to increase sustainability because there's an actual need. There's an actual need, and Jesus is the answer. That's what I was saying.
I'd like to say one more thing. Excellent points by everyone on the panel here. The one thing that I would like to bring light to and to caution everyone is that, in my personal opinion, I love every single person in here. But I do truly believe that we're limiting ourselves by using panorama as a measuring stick for success for Steelpan. And I want everyone to go away with that. Panorama is great. We've had a lot of success here, and we have our favorite bands, and you know the competition's intense and everything around it. Panorama is a beautiful thing. But I think that if we use panorama as the measuring stick to success in the Steelpan community, the only, I think we can go a different way. That cannot be the only measuring stick for success in the Steelpan community. That'll be all.
Before we break this up, you guys have all the influence here. And let's think about standardization of the instrument.
That is what I was going to say.
I played 3 different bands, and I know the bands are different. Like, okay, so that's something.
Yeah, but I actually wanted to jump on that as well. I do think that is in the direction. That's one of the places we should be headed. There's sometimes, so I told around a big suitcase there. A couple of weeks ago, it went from Antigua to London, London to Doha, Doha to Japan, and the return, right? It's probably been on more flights than many people, right? At times, there are fans in Japan, but the setting is very different. From most of the settings, actually, it's a low E, but it's not a normal low E, right? And you know, I can play on most fans, but what I can do on this one comfortably, I wouldn't be able to do comfortably on others, especially just on the go. So it'd be really good, you know, in the direction forward, the sustainability conversation, where we're looking at, you know, standardizing the instruments. I know there's some walks towards that, because you know, a lot of the tenors, you find 4th and 5th in most countries that you go. I think there are only a few bands around there that still use thirds. Right, so that's fine. So for me as a traveling musician, I think that's one way that we can go. Now, just to say, I know where you're going to get, but we had this conversation we went to. I have no issues with people being whoever they want to be. But just for the sake of, we're talking about, you mentioned about connecting boards to vendors, we talked about education. I mean, the ability to move across, you know, countries, states, schools, and just, you know, play the instrument. Veron, who's our builder, one of the things he's been trying to do in Hellgate, so you can move from a double tenor to a double second to a double guitar easily, because the layouts are very similar. And it was intentional. The way that he does his 3 pans and 4 pans is similar to the equivalent. So the 4 pan is equivalent
And it's really to kind of create that sort of consistency, right? So, you know, definitely, you know, I do agree with that. And Andre would say he thinks differently. And then, just another point here. So, the conversation about measuring success. And you did mention only, but when I mentioned about looking at the art form much greater than just panorama, but you know, soloist. I mean, you can be a professional soloist, and that is what you do. You understand? And you can be successful in those areas. I know that's what you want to say. I just want to sort of make it more clear, or make it clear. So, you know, in whatever aspect, in whatever sector, I think we can do a better job in clearly defining, you know, what are different areas that makes up the Steelpan community. I certainly try and do that on my quests, you know, around the world. But we have pan builders around the world that that's all they do. Notice I said pan builders. They don't tune, and they just build pan. Sheldon Best is one of them that comes to mind. Right? He's one of the you know, probably renowned pan builders. He just builds drums. That's all he does. Builds drums, send it to a tuner. There are people who do pan building and tuning. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm waiting on a double second like 7, 8 months now. Can't get it because I just have no time. All right? Yes, there are some other builders out there. The ones who are out there that have time, they're not very good at what they do. I would be very honest. I would not be buying a pan from them. Right? So saying that there is opportunities out there, and I'm also saying this to you out, young ones and old, young in age and young at heart. Let's put it that way. Who are interested in building, you know, create better standards. Get interested in building, because there is opportunity out there, and then you just need to continue to create successes in all walks of the Steelpan community.
Well, unfortunately, we've got to wrap up. Thank you for sharing your views. Really, some really good points. Lots of things were raised here, very valuable. It's been amazing hearing what you guys have to say. I'm sure the audience has appreciated it, but we are ready to move
Everybody
on.
have a promise. They made a promise tonight too.
They did?
Yeah. So if they've never played pan before, they need to start.
They're going to commit?
Yeah.
I think the salient point that everyone made was that there's room for everything within pan. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you once again.
You could do better than that, man. This was very informative. This was a great evening. It started with beautiful music. We got some informative information. I'm sure you guys learned a lot here tonight. Lots of knowledge about Steelpan. And this forum is such a great forum. You know what I mean? Like, look how much people still stay just to listen to people talk and was interested in it. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for doing that. Like I said, we started with some beautiful music. We had Souls of Steel Orchestra earlier. We had some Hannes, the White Belgrove. We had Majid playing some pan on the inside. But now we're going to get to Toronto's #1 band. They have won the Pan Life competition 11 years straight. They go by the name of Pan Fantasy. I want you to give them a big round of applause right now as they entertain us as we leave this evening. And I want you guys to get up and feel free to dance. You know what I mean? We're going to have a good night. Like I said, we started with beautiful music. We ended with beautiful music. All right? Pan Fantasy.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I was like, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Leslie, don't let me leave this. Let me give you one of these. Let me give you one of these.
Check, check. Before I go, before we leave the thing, or before they start, I should say, if you have any tickets for the bar, this is the absolute last call for the bar, so make sure you check the bar real quick. If you have any tickets for the bar, make sure you check that quick because you might have to bring it to the next show here at this venue, all right? Don't bring it to Snowface, I ain't taking it. All right, so last call at the bar, Pan Fantasy.
Friday night, they partying. All right. One more. Pan Fantasy. Yes, it's been a beautiful evening. Once again, I want to thank the Canadian Federation of Steelpan for putting on such a beautiful event. Thank you to the sponsors, Pan Arts Network. Thank you to OSA for being here as well. Also want to thank the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority as well. It's been a great evening of Steelpan, entertainment, and education. And I hope you guys could benefit from some of the stuff you learned here tonight. Remember, if you drink like lightning, you'll crash like thunder. Please reach home safe. And we're looking out for the next couple of events that are coming out. Don't forget the Christmas on Steel on December the 13th. And then the 24th of January, it's all about snowflakes on Steel, all right? Everybody reach home safe. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone.